When artists get famous, it can take a while before they fully comprehend the power they have on stage. Imagine the feeling of thousands of adoring fans in the palm of your hands, all staring at you, hanging on every note and every word you say.
All right!
Something that has been used for positivity, and also something that has been abused. In 1988, Megadeth was touring in Northern Ireland, a country that was a powder keg of political and religious division some outsiders might not have been aware of. Live music was a way of bringing people together, but a drunken Dave Mustaine found out how quickly that can shift. One comment into the microphone turned the crowd of fun-loving metalheads into two separate camps of people defending their political beliefs. It was a lesson for Dave in the power of fame, but it would also inspire one of Megadeth's biggest songs, Holy War's The Punishment Due. It was 1988, backstage before a show in Belfast, Northern Ireland. Megadeth are pounding back Guinness beers, waiting to hit the stage when a person from their crew comes up and informs them that a kid has been busted for selling t-shirts inside the venue. The band kind of perks up and starts asking questions. It wasn't a very common problem. Surprisingly, frontman Dave Mustaine wasn't mad. He actually respected the entrepreneurship, thinking that it took a lot of balls. Dave asked the member of his crew why the kid was selling the shirts. The crew member said that the kid was trying to support the cause.
Cause is supposed to be about prejudice religion. Catholics think they're better than the Protestants, and the Protestants think they're better than the Catholics. I thought, well, one religion thinking it's better than another religion is prejudice, which is not cool. And if the cause is about having equality between the different religions, then great.
Respecting the spirit of this movement, Dave took a mental note and decided he'd bring it up later on stage. So Megadeth goes up, and before their cover of the Sex Pistols' Anarchy in the UK, Dave goes to the microphone to support what he thought was this movement against all this religious division.
I said, give Ireland back to the Irish. I said, this one's for the cause, anarchy and action. Again,
so
thinking,
cause...
not knowing that was the IRA. I say that, audience goes, whoa!
What Dave didn't know was the history behind the deadly nationalist conflict in Northern Ireland between the Catholics and Protestants, starting in the 60s with roots as far back as the 17th century. The Troubles, as they were called, had two factions. The Catholic side, also known as the IRA, in support of removing British rule from Northern Ireland, and the Protestant side, which aimed at being loyal to the rest of the UK. The Megadeth crowd that night was a mix of both.
And I said something, and God damn. I never had wished I could get back in my bed in Los Angeles so fast in my life.
The next morning, Dave and bassist Dave Ellefson meet for breakfast in their hotel in Dublin. Ellefson kind of gives Mustaine the stink eye and won't talk to him. Mustaine is confused. It's like any other hungover morning on tour. Realizing Mustaine was really drunk, Ellefson finally explains, dude, you said give Ireland back to the Irish.
And he goes, you don't remember what happened last night? I was like, no, I don't. He goes, we were escorted out of North Ireland back to Dublin in a bulletproof bus because of what you said.
What started out as a fun-loving gathering of heavy metal turned serious and scary really quick. It was like a bomb had been set off in the audience. People stopped paying attention to the show, you could hear arguments being started, and the general vibe turned sour. It made an impact on Mustaine. Feeling inspired, he pulled out his notepad and started writing.
Holy Wars was written and conceived within a period of hours after that. And we had taken direction from that experience that killing for religion is so stupid.
In it, Dave admits his naivety over the complicated issue.
Fools like me who cross the sea and come to foreign lands. That's a shame for their beliefs till you get on God's command.
Holy Wars, The Punishment Due is released as the opening track and first single off Megadeth's fourth album, Rust in Peace. The song is regarded as one of the best from Megadeth, off what's regarded as one of the best and most influential thrash metal records of all time in Rust in Peace. Dave Mustaine learned that night the power of being a frontman in front of an audience of adoring fans. Yeah, his intent was to empathize with this made-up, peace-loving movement. Instead, he stirred up centuries of religious conflict. Luckily, no serious violence would come and a riot was narrowly avoided. Authorities were well aware of the political issues, and armed security were a regular sight at concerts during that time. But a valuable lesson was learned for Dave. When you have the power of being a rock god, you can mean well and still do harm. Maybe it's better to avoid dipping your toes into complicated waters. Or as Dave later wrote in Holy Wars, out of remorse, "My past erased, no more disgrace, no foolish, naive stand."